Okay. So, when you're alone and life is making you lonely, when you've got worries and all the noise and the scurries and nothing seems to help, just listen to the music of the traffic in the city, linger on the sidewalk where the neon lights are pretty. How can you lose? The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your worries, forget all your cares, and go downtown. Now you would think that would be the answer. I remember when that song first came out, that catchy little song, and no one noticed, no one even had an inkling that Petula Clark was subversively teaching the science of mind to a generation of people that were just about to get it. Downtown stands for that place in consciousness where all there is pure peace of mind. I mean, really, just think about the lyrics. Think about the song. I mean, Downtown really may have been the very first religious science hit single. Really, it came before all those other ones. Right? And we have Petula Clark, or Pet Clark, as I like to call her. We have Pet Clark to thank for this. Don't hang around and let your problems surround you. There are movie shows. No. Follow me. Now, she doesn't mean movie shows. No, it's a metaphor. She's telling us to let life show us what is there to see. Let life be the movie screen that shows us where we fit in this play, in this movie, right? Listen to the rhythm of the gentle bossa nova. You'll be dancing with them before the night is over. Now, the imperfect rhyme notwithstanding, I think that what she's saying is that if we give over to the music of our life, the rhythm of our life, we'll be happy again, back in the flow, in the divine truth, because the lights are much brighter there. And we can forget all of our troubles and forget all of our cares and go downtown. And then the final, penultimate moment. Maybe I'll see you there, where we forget all our troubles, forget all our cares, and go downtown. So, the question I have for you tonight is, what is this place called downtown? Now, clearly we're not talking about downtown Los Angeles. Or are we? Maybe downtown Philadelphia. Maybe downtown New York. Is there a place that no matter where we go, no matter where we are in a state of mind where life is just waiting for you? Is there a place that we can go, and do you find in your mind a place that you can believe in where life is just waiting, as Kevin said, for you? You know, Kevin McMahon, who's a dear friend of mine, he made an album, and this song was on it. And that version of this song was on that album. And so when I got the album, and there's a song of mine on the album, which of course I played first. And after I heard that, I went back to the top of the album. And I listened, and this song came on. And I have to say, I must have listened to it 100 times in a row. I just kept playing it over and over and over. And when that Barry Manilow modulation came in at the end, when he just hit that modulation out of nowhere, I was just like cavelling in my car, because I always played it in the car. And I had to ask myself, what is it about this song that just makes me feel good? Doesn't the song just make you feel good? It makes you want to go downtown even if you hate downtown. It just makes you feel good. It makes you like, I just can't wait to go there. But then you're like, where is she talking about? Where? Where can I go? Science of mind should make us feel that good. It should teach us that life is waiting for you to do something. And it does for me. The first time I went into a religious science church, the first time I heard Dr. David J. Walker speak, I left that theater and thought, I can do anything. I didn't know how. I wasn't certain what that meant, but I knew because something in me that was already there, not something new, something in me that was already there was saying, oh my God, James, that's it, he just said it, that's it. Don't you feel like that every week when I talk? Oh my God, that's it, oh my God, a castle. So, I'm just waiting to see how many people know that joke. Okay, so you know what a goldfish, for those of you who haven't heard that joke, a goldfish, the only thing a goldfish ever says, because they have the memory of like 3 seconds, is, oh my God, a castle. Oh my God, a castle. Oh my God, a castle. And it would really be good to go through life as a goldfish, and no matter what we've seen 1,000 times, we always see it as new. We always see it as something exciting. So the question becomes, where is this place called downtown? I can find science of mind in anything. And I take great pride and great joy in finding science of mind everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, there's some lesson being said, some wonderful knowledge being known. Ernest Holmes said this, what we now experience, we may cease experiencing if we have the will and the imagination to set our vision in an opposite direction and hold it there. He says we should daily practice correct thinking. So Reverend Rita asked you, has anybody had any challenges this week? And one of the things that Ernest Holmes talks about is we hold challenges to us to the degree that we keep focusing on the challenges that are before us. And it's not that we turn away from them and pretend they're not there. Our job is to know the spiritual truth, to know the spiritual logic about that challenge in order to dissipate it and move into that downtown place where all there is bright lights and neon and joy and happiness. So, Ernest Holmes, what we are now experiencing, we may cease experiencing if we have the will and the imagination to set our vision in an opposite direction and hold it there. Hold it there. And then he says, we should daily practice correct thinking. So, I have a question for us tonight, and that is, what is correct thinking? What is correct thinking? I think correct thinking is actually doing something. Is actually doing something in your life. When we started this service, we said what our vision statement was, which is living life to the fullest. Last week at our meeting, one of our ministers said that he wasn't sure what our vision statement meant. And so I decided, the very next chance I had on this stage, I would tell you what our vision statement means. Living life to the fullest, to me, means that in every area of your life, you are fully invested. Not just a little, not just partly, but every area of your life, you are fully invested. Why? Because you've chosen whatever that area of your life is. And if it doesn't meet your specifications for joy and happiness, get rid of it. Change it. Change your thinking, change your life. Now, the second part of that is living life to the fullest, and then our mission statement, which is have at it. But the it in have at it is God. Ernest Holmes refers to God as the thing itself. He talks about God being it, impersonal, so that we don't get caught up with our old version of what God was, this old man in a sky judging us. So have at it means have at your God self. Have at your creativity. Have at this teaching. Have at the philosophy. Have at this thing called life. So therefore, in order for us to be correctly thinking, we would have to be willing to live our lives fully. So, where is that place where we can forget all our worries and forget all our cares? Where is that place? Tonight we have a very, very, very special guest, besides my husband. The wonderfully talented Kay Cole, who was the original Maggie in A Chorus Line. And the title of my talk tonight is Mirrored Image. And you really can't leave A Chorus Line without noticing all the mirrors and without experiencing that wonderful moment, the music in the mirrors. And I don't know, I talk a lot about my Broadway. Well, did you know I was on Broadway occasionally? I do mention it often, because it's a big part of my life. It still is a big part of my life. I haven't said that I will never be on Broadway again. I expect someday to be back there for some reason, for some thing, whatever it is. So what I never talk about, though, is A Chorus Line. the entire year I spent in a chorus line. And when I first got to New York, I was 21 years old, and it was 1975, and chorus line was just in its workshop at the Newman Theater. And my boyfriend at the time took me there and said, "This will change your life," and it did. And I went to see it, and I actually saw it when Cassie was still being cut, before Mrs. Pop changed that. So it was really quite an experience, and then I got to be in a chorus line. But when I got hired for a chorus line, I learned that show in 10 days. Tom taught me the show in 10 days. Now, I had a great fear at that time of screwing it up. I had a great fear in my mind of screwing up the logistics of the finale. I wasn't afraid about the rest of the show. The whole show I was fine with, but I had a death lock on the finale. Because I just had this vision that if I screwed up the finale, it would be like dominoes. And the entire cast would be leveled onto the stage because I couldn't find out where I was supposed to go. I had this horrible, horrible feeling. I was 23 years old at the time I got it and was in the show. And I was a perfect mixture at that time of amazing arrogance and unfailing uncertainty. And that is quite a concoction to live your life that way. It kills you every time. So, it was Detroit. No, it was Miami Beach. And I was going to go into my first performance playing Bobby. Now, that week I had just found a puppy in one of those streets where they sell puppies. So I just thought, what a good idea. I'm on tour. I might as well get a puppy and raise it while I'm on tour. So I did. And my dressing room mates were very pleasant and very, very nice to me. And they said, "You can bring Jeremiah to the theater and let him hang out in the dressing room." And no one said anything, so it wasn't a problem. So I brought Jeremiah to the theater, and he would stay in the dressing room. So, got through the whole show. The show was magnificent. I had the best time. I'm out there. If Troy Donahue could be... I was made for that part. So, the finale comes along, and I run off the stage, and the dresser's there. I'm putting on my costume. I go to put my feet in my finale shoes, and people are starting, and I'm like, I can't get them on. And the dresser's like, "Just stick your foot." And I'm trying to get it on, and I can't get my feet into my shoes. At which point, Avon Harem, who was playing Zach at the time, said, "I'll go before you." And I'm like, "It's happening! Oh my God! I'm going to not level the stage." So he goes out before me, and finally I get the shoes on, I go out, people are like switching, just horrifying. But nobody fell over, and the show did finish, and it was all fine. I get up to my dressing room only to find out that what had happened was Jeremiah had peed in every pair of shoes in my dressing room. Every actor on that stage that night was doing the finale in swishy pea shoes. Needless to say, Jeremiah wasn't allowed at the theater anymore. Although Jeremiah did live with me for 16 years, and through all of my shows, and I got it in my contract that he was in the dressing room during West Side Story. He had stopped peeing in shoes. The reason why I tell you that story, other than it's a very interesting story, is because of the title of my talk, Mirrored Image. My experience mirrored the image I had in my mind of what my experience was going to be in a chorus line. And that's what happens in our lives at all times. We create images in our mind. We hold beliefs so firmly. And you know what holds a belief more firmly in place than anything else? What do you think? Fear. We are so afraid something's going to happen that we might as well just build it and deliver it right where it's supposed to happen. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. What mirrored images do you have in your mind? What fears you have going on that if you don't spend some correct thinking time, will most definitely demonstrate in your life? And you know the best way to deal with that? First of all, to honor it, see what it is, know what it is. The best way to deal with it I have found is to start deciding, what do you really want to happen? I think we spend way too much time figuring out what we don't want to happen. And if we spend a lot more time just thinking about what we do want to happen, then we are actually creating from this place of power. Basic science of mind says, right where I am, God is. That's who I am. And my mind creates my experience, not my thoughts. We've moved past my thoughts create my experience, because guess what? My beliefs create my thoughts. So if I really want to change my life, I got to get in there and change my beliefs, because then my beliefs will create better thoughts, which create better experiences. So, I told you about the music in the mirror. When I first got to a chorus line, when I first got to, I think the first place I went was Detroit. When I first went to that city, every single person in the show wanted to be Cassie, I thought. Everybody. Because I walked into the first night I went to the theater, I went down into the green room, and while Cassie was doing her number, there were 3 guys in red dresses standing in the practice mirror, all mirroring her every move. And I thought, surely they don't have men understudying Cassie. And they didn't. These were just guys that really enjoyed playing Cassie. Now here's the thing about the music in the mirror. All I ever needed was the music and the mirror and a chance to dance. Now when Cassie, how many people here have ever seen Chorus Line? How many people, has anybody ever not seen a Chorus Line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Unbelievable. Okay. Okay, so this is a woman, for you 11 people, I will explain this. It's a dancer, all the mirrors come out, and she basically has to confront herself. She has to confront who she is. And she does it in the mirror. Now, you and I all know what it's like to stand in a mirror and look at ourselves. One of our greatest tasks in life is to be able to stand in a mirror, look at ourselves, and see God, and not see all of the imperfections. To look in a mirror and see our life as perfect, and not be reminded of what may have gone wrong, what didn't happen, but to just look in the mirror and see God. When Cassie looks in the mirror, what she's really looking at is her reflection, her dancing reflection. She's looking at her whole career. And here's what's fascinating about that song for me. And I've always thought this, and I've always been drawn to that number. No, I never wore the dress, and I have never learned the choreography, a little bit of the choreography, but not a lot. Actually, I did, but anyway. Okay. So, I always have to tell you the truth. I probably tried to skirt, no, anyway. What I was mostly drawn to about Cassie in the music in the mirror is the moment she turned away from the mirror. And that's what this talk is about tonight. You know, there's a place I can go to where all of my problems and worries go away. It's not staring in a mirror, looking at my reflection. It's when I know who I am, and I'm willing to see it, but to turn away from it and just live from that belief, from that knowing. And the moment when Cassie turns away from the mirrors and comes down stage and just loses herself in that dance and makes that cross across the stage where she's just pulling herself, I could do it, but I won't, pulling herself, that part I know. So, pulling herself to what? Pulling herself to the truth of who she is. So that at the end of the number, she is just wasted. She has given everything she had, and in that moment, she's ready to give more. That's what life is about. That's what downtown is. That's what that place is. That place that you can go where you know who you are, and in knowing who you are, you have every bit of courage you need to turn and face the world and dance. All I ever needed was the music. You already have the music. And the mirror. You have the mirrored image that you are God. Right where I am, God is. I am not less than everything that God is. I am not just a part of God. All of God moves through me as I allow it to. So all I ever need is God, is that energy, that life force to move through me. And the music, that incredible passion that runs through all of us. And a chance to dance. You've been given the chance. We've all been given the chance. If you can still breathe, you have the chance to make even more out of your life. It is time for all of us truly to turn away from the mirror and to find that place in mind, to find that downtown of your own. So tonight, as we celebrate tonight, and certainly as Kay Cole comes up and sings for us in just a very short bit, I want you to really ask yourself, what have I done with my life? Am I happy with what I've done with my life? If I'm not, pshaw, who cares? I have the opportunity right now to not only know who I am, but to step away from the mirror, to create the mirrored image in my mind that who I am is so powerful that when I turn away from the mirror, I know everything I need to know. And I am just, as Cassie is, on fire. All I ever needed was the music and the mirror and a chance to dance. You have your chance. Tonight, that's the message. You have the opportunity and the gift to live this life to the fullest by doing what? Having at it, having at God, having at principle, having at this teaching, having at the fearlessness to be who you have always been, who you always will be, and who you are fully right here in this moment. That's our gift. That's our downtown. Let's go there and have a great time. Namaste. Thank you.